Chapter 5 Season 2 has only been out for a week, and this already looks like one of the best seasons in Fortnite history. And in this video, guys, I'm going to be showing you the 35 best pickaxes for Season 2. This is going to include some of the most tryhard pickaxes we've ever seen, some of the more popular ones as well, and of course a bunch of brand new pickaxes that have just been added to the game in the latest battle pass, and maybe some item shop pickaxes as well. So make sure you guys watch all the way through and let me know which one is your favorite in the comments down below. Make sure to go down and hit the like and the subscribe button if you are new as well, because we're going to be giving away a bunch of free battle passes over the next few weeks to you guys. So if you haven't already, make sure to go down and hit the like button and the subscribe button. And also, guys, if you are going to pick up this battle pass, make sure to use code KyroYT. It is going to help out the channel so much. But that's enough talking, guys. Let's get straight into it, and we're starting off with a brand new pickaxe, and this is the Breakshore Trident. This is a really amazing pickaxe. It was designed for the Poseidon skin, and it does look very similar to the Ripley vs Sludge pickaxe that we got back during Chapter 2 Season 1 as well. Maybe not in the actual design, but by the feature that this pickaxe actually has. If you guys do grind out this season, you will actually be able to unlock a second style for this pickaxe, which turns it from a trident into a slurp style hammer. I think this does look really cool. It is going to be probably the more popular pickaxe edit style for me, at least. I feel like the hammer does look really clean, but obviously since the trident is the default style for this and doesn't require as much grinding, I feel like that will probably be the go-to pickaxe for a lot of you guys watching this video. Even though it is so detailed and unique as well, I feel like this can work in with a bunch of different skins from this season's battle pass and just in your locker as well. But let's move on, guys, and next up we have the Giant Nutcracker. Now, this might not be a tryhard pickaxe in Season 2, but I feel like this is definitely one of the biggest meme pickaxes you can use this season. It has such an interesting design. It was added to the game back during Season OG with the Futurama collab, and this was a collab that no one really expected to come to the game, but it was actually really cool and a lot of people loved it. I feel like the Giant Nutcracker was a really cool pickaxe. It has a design like we've never seen before, and I feel like that just made it even cooler. But again, I don't know that this is going to get the popularity that it deserves in the future, just because it doesn't feature in the store that often. If you do want to use a collab pickaxe though that will be quite tryhard in the future, then I feel like the AXO might be one of the best ones to use. This is actually part of the weekend collab that we got during Chapter 5 Season 1. It seems like we're going to be getting a brand new concert or a brand new music icon collab every single season, and the AXO was part of the Chapter 5 Season 1 collab. We don't know if this is ever going to return to the store in the future, again because it was part of that older collab, so we're just gonna have to wait and see. There are some other music icons that do return to the store all the time, like Ariana Grande and of course Eminem as well, but we have also seen some music icon items like Travis Scott and the Diamond Jack pickaxe never featuring in the store again, so I feel like no one really knows what the future is going to hold for the AXO. I love this though. I think it is such an amazing pickaxe, and honestly it should only get more and more tryhard in the future. That takes us though, guys, to the number 32 position, and we have the Ebon Heart Battle Axe. This is one of the most underrated items in the history of the game, and I just have to include it on the list because I think it deserves to be a lot more popular than it is right now. This reminds me a lot of the Leviathan axe, but instead of it being a single-handed pickaxe with a custom design, this just looks like a normal Fortnite pickaxe with the default animation. A lot of people actually prefer this though. A lot of pros and streamers don't want to use those custom pickaxes because they are quite detailed and they do take up a little bit more of the screen. So if you are using a pickaxe with just a default animation, it actually might make you guys play a little bit better. That is why I feel like the Ebon Heart Battle Axe is one of the best choices. Obviously it doesn't have the popularity of something like the Leviathan axe, and it isn't as tryhard as that pickaxe either, but hopefully this does change in the future. Let's move on, guys, to another pickaxe that was added in Chapter 5 Season 1, and this is the Banana Splitter. This is actually one of the cleanest looking pickaxes in the game, and it was added with one of the biggest meme skins of all time, which is Adventure Peely. I think it is so sick that Fortnite is still remixing some of these older skins, but it is no doubt that the Banana Splitter has been one of the more popular pickaxes that was added to the game in Chapter 5 Season 1. It was so unique. It has a different color style to any of the other pickaxes we'd really seen before, and I feel like that just did make it a lot better. Unfortunately though, I don't know how often this is going to reappear in the store in the future though. I mean, it was added to the game in Chapter 5 Season 1, and usually the newest items do feature in the store quite a bit throughout that season, but I feel like we haven't seen this for a few weeks, so it is going to be interesting to see if this does gain more popularity in the future, or it is just one of those underrated pickaxes pickaxes that no one ended up buying. One pickaxe though that is going to be a lot more rarer than this is the Mercenary Razor Sword. This is actually one of the newest pickaxes added to the game as well. It was introduced during Chapter 5 Season 1 and pretty much featured in the store for the entire season. This is part of the Rogue Scouts pack. You can actually get this as part of the Save the World bundle as well, and it did set you back around $20. I feel like we get a brand new Save the World bundle every single season in Fortnite, and people probably already own Save the World in Fortnite, so it just isn't worth them spending a bunch of money just to buy an item that they pretty much already own. You do also get a skin, a pickaxe, and 1,500 V-Bucks in these bundles though, so it can sort of be worth it, but I feel like the pickaxe from this latest bundle was definitely the coolest. We never really saw too many people using the skin. There were a few pros and streamers that did end up using the Dara skin, but the Mercenary Razor Sword was the best item from this bundle, and that is definitely a pickaxe you want to use in Chapter 5 Season 2. That takes us though guys to the number 29 position, and we have the Rihanna Man Arm. This is an underrated pickaxe in Fortnite today, but I feel like it could be so much more tryhard in Season 2, and of course for the rest of Chapter 5 as well. What is really unique about the Rihanna Man Arm is that it is so detailed, but it is also a single-handed pickaxe with a custom animation, which just makes it even better. It was part of the Invincibles collab that we got in Season OG. I feel like no one expected this collab to actually come to the game. It was one of the first ever collabs with Amazon Prime, which means that we could get crossovers with franchises like The Boys in the future, which would be so sick. The Rihanna Man Arm was by far the best pickaxe from this. I feel like they could have made this bundle a lot better by including pickaxes that were actually designed for the skins, but that never happened, and it could always be something that they do in the future. If you wanted a pickaxe that is even newer than this though, then I feel like you need to buy the Champion's Blade. The Champion's Blade is probably never going to feature in the store again though. This was added during Chapter 5 Season 1 as the FNCS pickaxe. It was sort of one of the more underrated FNCS bundles we have seen over the last few years. I feel like we've had some amazing skins as part of FNCS bundles, but I feel like the Champion Stashed was sort of one of the lesser well-designed ones, and not that many people ended up buying it, and just because people didn't end up buying the skin probably means they didn't end up buying this pickaxe either. It is pretty much a redesign of the katanas, just with a few extra colors and details. I am a big fan of this. I think it is really clean, and it is going to fit in with a bunch of different skins in your locker. Let's move on though to a really underrated pickaxe, and this is Mikey's Nunchucks. This was also added to the game during Chapter 5 Season 1. I feel like we are including a bunch of the newest items in the game, but they tend to be some of the best designed ones, so we need to include all of them. Mikey's Nunchucks was added to the game with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles collab. This collab was really clean, and I feel like it was quite underrated as well in terms of the pickaxes that we got. A lot of people probably did end up buying Donnie's bow staff instead of Mikey's Nunchucks, but I wanted to include them on the list because they have an animation like we have never seen before. I mean, it feels like it is hard for Fortnite now to come up with brand new custom designs and animations for their pickaxes and how they actually swing, but Mikey's Nunchucks was unlike anything we had ever seen before, and that just adds to how cool this pickaxe actually is. We probably won't see too many pros and streamers using it in the future though, but if you guys do want to stand out with a custom pickaxe, then this is by far one of the best ones that you can end up using. That takes us perfectly though into the number 26 position, and we have the Scratcher. The Scratcher was added to the game with the Chapter 5 Season 1 Battle Pass, and this is the pickaxe that was designed for Peter Griffin. I feel like if this was just added to the item shop with no context, then it probably wouldn't be as popular as it is right now, but the fact that this is Peter Griffin's pickaxe has really helped this become a lot more popular in the game, and has definitely brought a lot of attention to it. I'm a huge fan of this. I never thought we would get Family Guy items added to Fortnite, but now that this is here, it does not disappoint. It is really cool. I would love to see some other pickaxes also added to the game that were part of the Family Guy theme, but that might just happen in Chapter 5 Season 2. This could easily become quite tryhard in the future as well, but something that might not become that tryhard is the Void's Ire. This is actually part of the Starter Pack bundle in Chapter 5 Season 1. It is also one of the newest pickaxes in the game, and even though it hasn't really been that popular, I feel like this definitely has the potential to be one of the more tryhard pickaxes. What is so unique about the Void's Ire is that it just has a design like we haven't really seen too often with other items in Fortnite. You do have to spend around $9 in order to get it, but I feel like the skin also makes this worth it. This pickaxe is really clean though. It does have a design like we have seen a little bit before in the past. I feel like there are a few other scythe themed pickaxes that look very similar to this, but the Void's Eye is just a little bit more colorful, and it does also maintain a pretty simplistic design, which means it could become quite tryhard in the future. I don't know how many skins are going to fit in perfectly with this, but if you guys have been using it, then make sure to let me know in the comments down below. But if you guys are looking for a big meme pickaxe to use in Chapter 5 Season 2, then the Cosmic Pickaxe might be the best choice. This is actually part of the Birds of a Feather bundle, and it was the pickaxe designed for Budge. I think this is hilarious. Budge is already one of my favorite skins in the game. I mean, this is a rainbow bird, so you know the pickaxe was always going to be really clean. I feel like the Cosmic Pickaxe has a unique design. We do of course have a few other galaxy design pickaxes in the game with that same sort of galaxy color style to it, which does look really clean, but a lot of them are quite big and bulky, and the Cosmic Pickaxe is just a little bit more simplified and smaller profile, which I feel like makes this a little bit better. We need to move on though, guys, to the Shade Rippers. Now, these are some of the more interesting pickaxes. These are actually quite detailed as well, and you can unlock these at tier 1 because these are designed for the Cerberus skin. I don't know how popular or how tryhard these are actually going to be in the future. I think the design is really simplistic though, and out of all of the dual-handed pickaxes we have had in the past, this is probably one of the better ones. I don't really feel like this would be tryhard in the future, or maybe even that popular as we progress through Chapter 5 Season 2, and more people do unlock some of the other pickaxes, but for right now I feel like this is one of the coolest ones, and still one of my favorites. Let's move on though, guys, to the number 22 position, and we have the Scully Scepter. This is definitely one of the most tryhard pickaxes in the game, and one of the oldest ones on this list as well. It was sort of a remake of the Star Wand, which has been one of Fortnite's best ever pickaxes. I mean, you can pick this up for only 500 V-Bucks as well, so it is cheaper than the original Star Wand, which I guess just makes it better as well. It has a really big meme effect to it, so even though it can be a tryhard pickaxe, it is going to be used by a lot of meme players as well. So if you ever see someone using this, I guess they might either clip you and box you up straight away, or they might just try and pickaxe fight you to see who the winner actually is. If you want to use a pickaxe that is even older than this though, then I feel like the Vision is going to be one of the best choices. The Vision is also pretty similar to the Scully Scepter because it can be a tryhard pickaxe and also a meme pickaxe as well. I feel like there are a few other pickaxes like this, but none have ever really become as popular as something like the Scully Scepter and the Vision. The Vision has just been in the game for such a long time. It is sort of one of the first ever OG meme pickaxes that we have in the game, but I feel like it would definitely benefit from a few more styles as well. That takes us though, guys, to the number 20 position, and we have the Driver. This is a 500 V-Buck pickaxe in Fortnite, so it is definitely one of the oldest and cheapest pickaxes on this list, and it is definitely going to be one of the more tryhard ones in Chapter 5 as well. I mean, the fact that it has been tryhard for like the last 5 years shows you guys how good this actually is, even though it only has one style. It is going to fit in with every single skin in your locker. It is just so flexible, and that is what I love about it. One pickaxe though that probably not too many of you guys will end up owning is going to be the Axe of Champions, and that isn't just because this is so expensive. This is literally one of the hardest pickaxes in the game to get because you have to win an FNCS tournament in order to get it. There are really only like 20 people in the world that actually own this. I love the way it looks though. I feel like the design of it is so unique, and it is the perfect pickaxe to give out for the FNCS winners. Fortnite also did a really cool job because they added in a pickaxe that looks pretty similar to this that you could actually buy, and that was the Love Lawn. The Love Lawn is a $4 pickaxe though that you can actually buy from a bundle in Fortnite. As you guys can see on screen now, it looks pretty similar to the Axe of Champions 2.0 with a much simpler design, and I feel like that just helped this become quite tryhard. Obviously, because this is a bundle pickaxe, so we just have no idea when this is going to return to the store in the future. Usually bundle items do feature in the store for a little bit longer, like they will stay in the game for about a week, and then you probably won't see them for a few more months, whereas regular item shop pickaxes and skins seem to feature in the store once a week or once a month, but they don't really stay in the store for that long. Let's move on though to one of the smallest pickaxes in the history of the game, and this is the Stun Knife. This was the secret Battle Pass skin in Chapter 5 Season 1. even though it really wasn't a secret. We knew that the Solid Snake skin was the secret Battle Pass skin as soon as Chapter 5 Season 1 was announced, so I feel like a lot of people expected the stud knife to come to the game as well, and it is a really clean pickaxe. It is actually pretty similar though to a few other pickaxes we have already seen being added to Fortnite in the past. We obviously have Daryl's knives, the combat knife, and even Leon's combat knife that all look identical, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens with this in the future, whether it stays popular or not. It is always really hard to tell what pickaxe is going to stay tryhard, but one that could easily become more tryhard in this season has to be the Dauntless Driver. This has actually been in the game for a while. I feel like this was first added back during Chapter 2, and it is pretty much a remake of the Driver pickaxe. This is a little bit more expensive, but you do actually get 4 different edit styles for this. We never see anyone using this pickaxe, and I have no idea why. I mean, the Driver has just been one of the most successful pickaxes in the history of Fortnite. I mean, it is still popular and tryhard today, and it was added back during Chapter 1 Season 5, but the Dauntless Driver is a forgotten pickaxe. Hopefully this can gain a bit of traction in this season and become a lot more tryhard, because I feel like it definitely deserves it. Let's move on though to the number 15 position, and we have the Splinter's Staff. This is one of the coolest looking pickaxes in the game. It was added with the second round of updates for the Ninja Turtles collab, and the main reason that I love this so much is that this has a custom animation like we have never seen before. It is pretty similar to Mikey's nunchucks in that way. I feel like this was a really clean pickaxe. It is a little bit bigger than that, of course, but it does have a really simplistic design, and the custom animation just sets this apart from a lot of the other pickaxes that we already have in Fortnite. I don't know how many people are going to be using this in the future again, because a lot of pros and streamers seem to enjoy using the more default styled pickaxes with a simplistic design, but still I feel like this is really clean, and I am excited to see if we get more pickaxes with this custom animation added to the game in the future. That takes us though guys to the number 14 position, and we have the Studded Axe. The Studded Axe is an 800 V-Buck pickaxe in Fortnite, and it is also one of the most well-known pickaxes in the history of the game. It has been tryhard pretty much since it was first added, and what sets this apart from so many other pickaxes is that this makes barely any sound. Even though pickaxes in Fortnite don't really have the ability to provide a competitive advantage, I feel like the Studded Axe does this pretty well. If you are making less noise than other players around you, then you're going to be harder to find, especially in those competitive game modes, which is why whenever there is an FNCS tournament going on, or even just a cash cup, or in the more ranked game modes, you will most likely see people using the Studded Axe. It is just so clean. I love the way it looks, but I feel like this could definitely be one of those pickaxes that does get some updated styles in the future. That takes us though guys to the number 13 position, and we have the Slasher. The Slasher is an amazing pickaxe. It is one of the rarest ones on this list as well, just because we haven't seen that many people using it, and it was part of the Fortnite Mares update that we got during Chapter 4 Season 5. What is really clean about this is that we had so many amazing Fortnite Mares items added to the game, and we have had so many amazing ones added to the game over the last 5 years, but the Slasher came with a Michael Myers skin, which is a collab that no one expected to actually come to the game. This is also a really unique pickaxe because it was actually a knife. Sometimes with the more violent collabs that we do see, they tone down the pickaxes or the skins just so they aren't as graphic or as violent, but the Slasher really took this to a different level, and it does look really clean. And this is very similar to something like Leon's combat knife. This is also a 500 V-Buck pickaxe. It is so clean, and one of the smallest ones in the game as well. I feel like a lot of people that ended up using Leon's combat knife might have moved on to the Slasher or vice versa, just because these are so similar, but again, because these are both collab items, they just don't feature in the store that often. One collab pickaxe though that I have been preferring a little bit more would have to be Wick's Katana. The Wick's Katana was added to Fortnite during Chapter 5 Season 1, and this was one of the more surprising collab items that we have actually seen. What I mean by this is that this is added to the game with the John Wick skin. We already had a John Wick skin added to Fortnite with a few different styles, and he already had a pickaxe as well, which was the Simple Sledge. I was honestly really surprised that Fortnite updated this skin with new styles and added a brand new pickaxe for this. I never thought they would go to this effort, but I'm so glad they did, because this pickaxe is truly incredible. It is very similar to a lot of other katanas that we have in the game though, so if you want to use something a little bit more unique, then I feel like the Dark Place Lamp might be the best way to go. This has a custom animation. It is one of the best detailed pickaxes in the game as well, and yet it is still quite tryhard because we have seen a few pros and streamers using it, and the biggest one would have to be Clicks. Clicks has such a big influence on the Fortnite community that whatever skins or pickaxes he does end up using usually end up becoming quite tryhard, and I feel like that has happened with the Dark Place lamp. It probably just doesn't feature in the store as often as it should. If this featured in the store like every 2 weeks, then a bunch more people would be using it, but I feel like a lot of you guys watching this right now might actually be waiting for this to be added back to the store. Next up though guys, we have to move on to the Vault Guardian. This is an old classic. I say old, but it is actually probably one of the newest pickaxes on this list. I still think it is really clean. It is basically a reskin of the original crowbar and then the gold crow that we had during chapter 2 as well, and I feel like this is the best one out of the 3. It sort of is a perfect combination of both. You have the metallic color from the original crowbar and then some golden effects from the gold crow as well, sort of mashed up into one. The only downside for this is that this is a completely different pickaxe. They could have made all 3 of these just one pickaxe with different edit styles, but if you guys do want to use a tryhard pickaxe today, then this would easily be one of the best ones. That takes us though guys to the number 8 position, and we have Catwoman's Grappling Claw. This is an 800 V-Buck pickaxe in Fortnite that was added to the game during chapter 2 season 6 with Catwoman 0. We actually got a bunch of DC items added to the game in chapter 2, and Catwoman's Grappling Claw would have to be one of the best. As soon as I saw this pickaxe being added, I thought it was going to be tryhard almost overnight, but it never really got the popularity that it deserved, and it sort of wasn't until chapter 4 that it really started to gain some traction and we started seeing pro players using it. I'm so glad now that this is one of the more tryhard collab pickaxes that we do have in the game. Again, pros and streamers have really helped this a lot by making it a lot more popular than it would have been, and if you guys are looking for an underrated collab pickaxe to use that is also very tryhard, then this might be the best one. It is quite big and bulky though, which is probably the only downside to this, but if you don't want to use this pickaxe, then something like the Cold Snap might just be even better. This is another pickaxe that has become extremely popular and tryhard in Fortnite because of Clix. Clix's influence has made this one of the best pickaxes in the game, and that is because he chose this to be the pickaxe that featured in his very own locker bundle. It is pretty insane that he doesn't have his very own Icon series skin yet, but whenever he did get a locker bundle, he ended up putting the Sparkplug skin with the Cold Snap axe, and that made this extremely popular. I mean, no one had really been using Sparkplug over the last few seasons, and the fact that he chose to feature this in his locker bundle made it one of the more popular skins almost overnight, so the same is going to happen with this pickaxe, and for that reason I feel like it is one of the best ones to use today. It'll never reach the popularity of something like the Star 1 though, just because I feel like this is one of the best pickaxes we are ever going to see, and we just had to include it on the list. It is probably unlucky to not be finishing up higher on this list though. It is one of the best pickaxes in the game. It has one of the best designs we are ever going to see as well, because not only does it work as a tryhard pickaxe, but also a massive meme pickaxe as well. So many people love this about the Star Wand. It is an 800 V-Buck pickaxe though, so I feel like there are some other cheaper options that might just be a little bit better, but chances are every single one of you watching this video right now already owns the Star Wand. If you don't want to spend 800 V-Bucks on a pickaxe though, then the Icebreaker might honestly be a better choice. This has been in Fortnite since chapter 1 season 1, literally since the game came out. I think that is so insane. We have never really seen a pickaxe stay that popular for that long, and I don't think we are ever going to see a pickaxe that has been popular since chapter 1 season 1 like the Icebreaker has. I mean, the popularity of this is just so insane. It is also one of the most tryhard pickaxes as well, and a pickaxe that people seem to be buying more and more often because it features in the store like every single week. If this was a chapter 1 season 1 item that no one was really buying, then Fortnite wouldn't bring this back to the store as often as they do, so I feel like that shows you guys how good this actually is. It is one of the cheapest ones in the game, but we haven't really mentioned too many expensive pickaxes, so let's move on to the Candy Axe. This costs 1,500 V-Bucks. It is literally one of the most expensive pickaxes we are ever going to see, and that is kind of insane if I'm being completely honest. We also got the Merry Mint added to the game at the start of chapter 2, which is an exact copy of the Star Wand, just with a few colors changed, and that didn't even come to the game as an edit style for this. If it did come to the game as an edit style, then I would see a lot more people using the Candy Axe today, but I feel like since this has just had one design since chapter 1 season 1, it just doesn't get the popularity that it deserves anymore. Let's move on though guys to the number 3 position, and we have the Harley Hitter. I'm so excited that a collab pickaxe is finishing up this high on the list. Usually a lot of collab skins skins never really stayed too popular or try hard for that long, but the pickaxes seem to work a little bit differently. I mean, this has been really try hard since it was first added at the start of Chapter 2. I would have loved to see a second edit style for this added when we had Rebirth Harley Quinn added to the game as well, but that might be something that Fortnite does add to the game in the future. It is just so well designed. The color style is different to anything else we have in Fortnite as well. I feel like the fact that this is so simplistic and works with so many different skins in your locker is really what makes this so good. I would love to see more pickaxes added to the game in the future, but also if there were more pickaxes like this added to the game, then the Harley heater might not be as popular as it is, so I am sort of okay if Fortnite just keeps this as one of the only clean and basic design pickaxes that we do see, especially from the DC franchise. Let's move on guys to the number 2 position, and we have the Hadean Key. This is actually the pickaxe design for the tier 100 skin. This is such an amazing pickaxe, and I feel like what is so cool about this is that this is actually known as a legendary pickaxe in Fortnite. As you guys know, legendary pickaxes don't really exist. We really only have 2 or 3 legendary pickaxes, and the Axe of Champions isn't even considered a legendary pickaxe, so it is a little bit strange that they decided to make this the first legendary pickaxe we've seen in a really long time. I love the way this looks though. I think the design for it is incredible. It does also have the default pickaxe animation swing, which just makes it even better, and I feel like this could be the try-hard pickaxe from this season. But finally guys, we have to talk about the number 1 position, and this has to be the Leviathan Axe. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw this coming. It is by far the best pickaxe we have ever seen in Fortnite, and you can pick this up for 1,000 V-Bucks. It was last seen during Chapter 2 Season 5, which was actually the season that it was added to the game as well. A lot of people thought this was one of the cleanest pickaxes in the game and decided not to buy it because they thought it would feature in the store once again only a few days later, but that never happened and it hasn't featured in the store again. I think that is so insane. I mean, for a pickaxe this well designed, the fact that it is only featured in the store once just makes it even more crazier. It seems like it is still getting more and more popular as well, which just makes it even better. There might be some better designed pickaxes in the game, but this would have to be one of my favorites, and if you guys do own this, then I highly recommend using this in Chapter 5 Season 2. But there you guys go, that is my entire video talking about the best pickaxes for Season 2. Make sure to let me know in the comments down below which one you guys are going to be using today, and I'll see you all in the next video.